Hello and welcome, crafty friends. This is Rachel, Crafting Mama Bear, and today I will be showing you how I made this Let It Snow wreath using all items from Dollar Tree. For my wreath form, I used the Dollar Tree wreath form and I turned it into a working wreath where I put 3 pipe cleaners per section. I also embellished the Let It Snow sign with some jewels that I got from Walmart. I believe those jewels are like 97 cents in their crafting aisle. I will also be using some of the gold sparkly ribbon, the burlap snowflake ribbon, and the thin blue sparkle ribbon. I'll be using 6 rolls of the deco mesh in white. 3 of them have this silver color threaded in them, and then 3 of them will have the iridescent color in them. I just couldn't find 6 all the same. And I will also be using some of these white snowflake ornaments. Now for the working wreath, I've done a work wreath before where I measured it out every 4 inches, but this time I just put 3 pipe cleaners on each section. So if I used 1 pipe cleaner on the inside on one section, the section next to it I would use 2 on the inside, and I just went around there, and this worked perfect, and I was able to use all 6 rolls of my mesh to do this, and it gave a really nice full look. So for my bundles, I'm going to be measuring out my mesh to 30 inches long. And because I ended up having silver glitter ribbon in it, I placed the white and silver mesh on the bottom and then placed the white with iridescent on top, and I'll show you that later. Now for my thick wired ribbon, I measured that to 9 inches long. And I'm going to measure the burlap snowflake ribbon to 9 inches long also. And then for the thin blue glitter ribbon, I measured that an inch shorter, so those are 8 inches long. I also dovetail the ends of all of my ribbon. For the small ribbon, I fold each end over and then fold along the short side and cut a V. That allows me to cut both ends of my ribbon at the same time. And then for the others, I just cut it short, fold it over on the short side and cut a V at the end. And I will be layering some of my ribbon this way, where I'll do the thick silver glitter ribbon, the burlap snowflake, and then the solid blue glitter ribbon on top. Now to start my bundle, I'm going to take my piece of mesh and take the short end towards me and pinch it, and then gather everything towards my thumb to make a little bow tie looking piece of mesh. So you just gather it, gather it, gather it until it makes a nice little bow tie. And this Dollar Tree mesh does fray a little bit, so when you find those pieces, just snip them off. And now it doesn't matter where you start adding this to your wreath form, but like I said, I will be adding this white and silver on the bottom, so I'll add it first onto every single one of those pipe cleaners. Now for the other piece, again, take the short side to you, pinch it with your thumb, and just bunch it up, gather it up until it makes a little bow tie shape. And now when you're placing the second one on top, you want to make sure that you're alternating it. So I make sure that my pipe cleaner is going the same way as that white and silver piece, so I can place the white iridescent one opposite, if that makes sense. So it's making an X. And then I don't twist it down too much right now because I will be adding the ribbon to it. So with all my ribbon together, I'm going to fold it over to find the middle, and then I will pinch it in the middle. So I find the center and then add it on the very top. And I add this the same direction that my top layer of mesh is going. It doesn't matter. And now I'll twist it on there so it's nice and secure. And there it is. I'm just going to continue this all the way around the wreath form. Now I didn't have enough of that burlap ribbon to put it on every single bundle, so I just put it on the outside. Now for the leftover pipe cleaner that's poking up, I like to use a paintbrush and just roll it so it makes little decorative twists on the wreath. You can poke them down into the mesh so they don't show if you would prefer that. But I did add, so I added the snowflake burlap to all of the outside pipe cleaners, and then I added the glitter ribbon to every single one, and then I added the blue thin ribbon to a couple of the inside ones. So now I'm just placing my sign on top to see where I would like it to go. Before you place any signs or embellishments, you want to make sure that you fluff up your mesh and make sure that your ribbon is pulled out and it looks nice. To attach my sign, I will be attaching it with pipe cleaners, and I'm only going to attach 2 corners of the sign to the wreath. And I debated whether or not I was going to add this sign into the wreath because it was so thick and so full, and I just loved it. But I think that the sign just added a little bit extra to it, and the lady that I made this for, when I sent her the picture of it when I finished it, was just in awe. She said it was her favorite one that she's seen me make so far, so I was happy that she liked it. So once I get the placement where I want it, and I'm happy with the way my wreath is fluffed up, I'm going to go ahead and use some hot glue and attach one entire pipe cleaner to each corner. And be very generous with the hot glue. You want to make sure that these aren't going anywhere. And I'm playing with it right there because I want to make sure that I'm positioning them where I'm going to be able to attach them onto the sign without me having to twist the pipe cleaner, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add some glue, put the pipe cleaner in the glue, and then I'm going to add even more glue on top of the pipe cleaner. And I really think I want to get a cordless glue gun because I was getting my my cord stuck in the glue during this process, so that may be an investment that I want to make into a cordless glue gun. I was not stingy at all with the amount of hot glue that I used for this. So I will set this aside and let it dry, and while it is drying, I'm going to go ahead and open up my package of snowflakes and place them on the wreath where I want them and decide how many I want to use. And they are considered ornaments, so go ahead and cut the little piece of thread off of it. So here the glue has set up, I'm ready to attach the sign. So I'm just finding a spot where I can get to the wires on the wreath form, and I'm just poking the pipe cleaners down into it. Once they're tucked in, I will flip the wreath over and loosely tighten it down. You don't want to tie it down too tight at this point because you want to make sure that you can still maneuver it a little bit if you're not happy with the position, and also pull out some of the ribbon and mesh. So just lightly secure it down, and I tied it onto the inside 2 rings of the wreath form. And so it's centered on there. I'm happy with that, but I want to make sure that I'm pulling out some of my ribbon and mesh so it doesn't look like it's just squished down in there. And you add all that pretty ribbon, you want it to show. Alright, so now I'm happy with it, so I'm going to flip the wreath over, untwist the pipe cleaner, and now I'm going to secure it really tightly. And also make sure that once you have tied these down, that you use your wire cutters and cut the ends of the pipe cleaners and push them down so they're not poking out. And if that little sticker on the sign bugs you, you can take it off. I'm now seeing it, and I think I need to go get it out of the bag and take that little sticker off. Alright, so the sign's on. It looks gorgeous. I'm just going to add a few of those snowflake ornaments, and then this will be all done. So I'm going to place the snowflakes where I think I want them, and then I'm going to add some hot glue. Oh, it dripped onto my sign. Onto the ornaments and hold them in place for just a moment. And you don't need a lot of glue on here. I added some onto the little arms of the snowflake, and then definitely a little blob on the center circle. Like I mentioned in my last wreath making video, I did switch over to the Gorilla Glue hot glue, and it holds really, really well. I'm really impressed with it. So it was a little bit of a pain to get that little dot off of the like galvanized letter, but that just lets me know that everything else is going to stay in place really well. So here is the completed wreath on my door. I think it turned out really pretty. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up for me. I would really appreciate it. And I do have several more Christmas wreath videos coming up. I have one that is Mickey Mouse themed and one that involves the red truck sign that you have at Dollar Tree. So if that's of interest to you, please consider subscribing. And until next time, bye-bye.